Hey, what's new and exciting? It's Kevin O'Shaughnessy, and I want to make it easier for you to get better at the guitar. Sometimes that might mean digging into the mechanics of a particular technique. Other times it might mean learning new skills like learning how to read music or maybe a little music theory, things other guitar teachers tell you you don't need to know. Whatever your particular hang up is, I'm here to help, so let's get started. Today I'm going to talk about fret hand technique and what makes good fret hand technique that doesn't cause you pain while you're playing. But before we do that, I want to let you know I've got a free guide on how to sit with the guitar. This is one of those overlooked techniques that even method books get wrong. So if you're experiencing discomfort while you're playing the guitar, download the PDF. The link is in the description below. It'll totally change the way you play. So let's talk about fret hand technique. One of the problems that I see a lot of times is a bent wrist. I see a lot of students who tend to want to flex their wrist like this or extend it back like this. Now, this may not seem like it should be much of a problem, except that it is, because what you may not know is that your fingers don't have muscles. Your fingers are controlled by muscles in your forearm, and those muscles are connected to your fingers by tendons that run through your wrist. So if you're extending your wrist or flexing your wrist, you're creating a corner that those tendons get dragged across. Now, eventually this can lead to things like carpal tunnel and repetitive stress injuries, where the friction of the tendons going across that corner cause the tendons to become irritated and inflamed. This, of course, makes it harder to move your fingers. The secret is to keep what's called a neutral wrist or a straight wrist, right? No extension, no flexion, just straight. If we can do that 80 to 85% of the time, we shouldn't have any issues playing the guitar. So if you've seen my other videos on how to sit with the guitar or you've downloaded the free PDF, you'll know that you want to sit on the edge of your seat. You don't want to let yourself fall back into it like this. You want to sit upright with a straight back, no slouching over the guitar, and you want to make sure that the guitar is on an angle about 45 degrees. Push the headstock forward, the guitar will rest on your hip, and it will make it a lot easier to play. Now for that fret hand orientation that I promised. Let your arm hang down and simply flex at the elbow. Try not to engage your shoulder or any other part of your arm. Just flex at the elbow and turn your hand palm up until the hand meets the bottom of the neck. Now, curl your fingers up. Your thumb should reach your middle finger at this point, depending on the length of your fingers. It's not an exact science. Now let's make sure we've got that neutral wrist. With the palm of your hand touching the bottom of the neck of the guitar, extend and flex the wrist until you can find the extreme range of motion. Then put your wrist somewhere in the middle, and that should be neutral. Now, flex your fingers up over the neck, keeping them relatively straight, and then using the elbow, slide your hand down until the tip of your pinky touches the low E string. Next, we're going to curl the remaining fingers so they touch the low E string. This should feel really comfortable right about now. The last step is to adjust the thumb position. If you're feeling pain in this muscle behind the thumb, it could be that your thumb is drawn too close to the center of your hand. Open it up like a windshield wiper until you can find a comfortable orientation for it. That should relieve the pain. With that, let your fingers glide across the strings and notice how they change orientation. Notice how they change their relationship to the strings. And that's it. That's how you orient your fret hand on the neck of the guitar so that it's easier to play. Now, one thing I want to point out is that there's a gap between the palm of my hand and the bottom of the neck. Notice we didn't start out that way. When we found the orientation, I had you put the palm of your hand right up against the neck. But when you're playing, there should be a bit of a gap between the palm of your hand and the bottom of the neck. This keeps your fingers free so that they can grab the frets they need to grab. You don't need to keep it like this 100% of the time. 80 to 85% will do the job nicely. So what happens that other 15 to 20% of the time? Well, for example, if you're doing a bend, one of the things you can do is you can let the back of the neck rest in this space between the thumb and the first finger. As long as you keep your wrist neutral, this is a perfectly acceptable orientation. Now you can rotate the forearm to give you the leverage you need to make the bend. You're basically closing it like a door at the bottom of the neck. So I hope that helps. Question of the day. What is the biggest fret hand challenge you're experiencing right now? Drop your answer in the comments below and it might become the subject of a future video. Remember to get your free PDF on how to sit with the guitar. The link is in the description. And if you want to support the channel, liking and subscribing is always a good thing. Turning on your notifications so that you never miss a video will also help. And if you want to take it one step further, you can pick up a digital copy of my album, Persistence of Vision. It's a hard rock album that features Joe Satriani-like instrumentals, story-oriented songs, and some great riffs. It's everything that I love about rock and roll. So with that, go practice, and I'll catch you in the next video.